All right, folks, here we are on Trading Up. We've got Pat Bailouni here in the house. Now, we just did an amazing podcast, which is bound to help your trading, especially if you are looking to get funded. We talk a lot about that as well. Pat's a mindset coach, and we're doing a first on the channel here today. We're actually getting him to walk through a price chart and give you a psychological sort of mindset view or slant on taking a trade and what sort of thinking goes on in that space. So, welcome back to the show, Pat.
Thank you, Cam. Good to be here.
Well, let's share your screen and have a look. Folks, if you're looking for the skills to get funded, then the bank level trading strategy from my sponsors, City Traders Imperium, may be the perfect solution for you. Now, get this, trades average 1 to 5 risk to reward with a 40 to 50% win rate. And the strategy combines the best of smart money concepts, wave theory, and Wyckoff theory. Plus, it's been successfully used to pass CTI's evaluation challenge. To find out more, click the link in the description below or the card above, or visit citytradersimperium.com.
So I put a chart up here. This is euro dollar on the hourly. This is not technical analysis or any sort of technical indicators here. This is purely, I'm going to show the psychology of what I've seen the best traders have before they execute on trades versus those who don't. Now, the key distinction here is the expectation you have before you get into a particular position. There are certain expectations you can have, an outcome-based expectation that's going to lead you to be more emotional as a trader and susceptible to something called confirmation bias, which means you're not taking in what the market's trying to communicate to you. You're just trying to confirm the very belief you have. Versus a trader who has a process-based decision, who's making a decision based on their processes, who's clear, listening to what the market's communicating to them, and they're going to be less emotional. I guarantee those traders out there who are highly emotional after losing and also after winning, it comes down to their expectations prior to taking that particular position. Okay, so I have a Eurodollar chart here. I've bar replay tooled back a little bit. Let's say, for example, a trader sees this particular price action, and in their mind, in the virtual market, in their head, they're saying Eurodollar is going to go up. I have an expectation that Eurodollar is going to go up, and this is going to get me my funded account. Actually, let's do it the other way. Let's say a trader has an expectation that Eurodollar is going to go down, and this is going to get me my funded account, right? This is going to get me all the recognition, praise in my trading community. This is going to make me a lot of money. This is going to help me pay rent. These are all the expectations that the trader's creating in the virtual market in their head, and they're projecting these onto the market. Okay. So this trader is going to go into the market with those unrealistic expectations. That's all pleasure. That's all pleasure in their mind. Funded account, recognition, covering rent, making percentage, making money. That's all pleasure. So they come in here and they put a sell order because they think the market's going to go down, right? For whatever reason. Now, in this state, because you have an expectation, because you have a belief the market's going to go down, you now have confirmation bias to only find evidence and only let into your mind evidence that supports that belief, to support that expectation. If the market's trying to communicate to you risks and cues that the market wants to go up, you're going to block them out because you're trying to find evidence to support your expectation or belief. This is why it's so important to be balanced and not have expectations before you get into a position on the outcome. Let's say, for example, you sell this particular position, get in with let's say a 60 pip stop, whatever, doesn't really matter. It's just more of the example. And the market pushes against you and it takes you out for a loss. Now you have to understand that in this moment, you're not only taking a 1% loss, you're not only losing what you risked, for example, but you're also losing all those pleasurable expectations that you created in your mind before getting into the position. And I think that's where the pain of losing actually comes from. A lot of the times traders are happy taking a 1% loss or however much they risk, but where the pain really comes is losing all those expectations, those fantasies, those pleasurable things, like moving away from the funded account, like not being able to pay rent, for example, et cetera, et cetera. So traders really need to be aware of their expectations before they get into a position, because that's ultimately what will drive confirmation bias, poor decision-making, and the pain of losing, for example. Now, what I've seen the best traders do and what expectations or what thought process they have in their mind is this. Again, there's no technical analysis here. This is just more as an example. But let's say a trader sees this particular structure here, or they see this particular price action, or they see this, whatever it is, or they've got indicators, or they've got their processes met, and they see this particular setup that matches what they have in their trading plan. The best traders have the thought process that I don't care if this goes up or down. I don't care if I win or lose on this particular individual position. I'm taking this position because it aligns with my trading plan. And I know if I do this over 100, if not 1,000 trades, I'm going to end up consistently profitable. See, there's a very big difference, right? The outcome-based thinkers, decision makers are thinking, what am I going to get on this individual position, right? And they have all these positive expectations or fantasies. Whereas the process-based thinkers, the successful, consistently profitable traders, are thinking about what aligns with my trading plan. And for example, it aligns with their trading plan to set a buy here, because that's what aligns with their trading plan. And they're going to take that particular position and they're going to let that particular position play out. Now, even though it's a winner, they're not going to get elated necessarily because they're not thinking about the individual trade. They're thinking about what's going to happen over 100, if not 1,000 sample space. Now, this is a key distinction that I've seen. I've worked with traders who are just on demo account, just getting started. I've also worked with traders who are making a significant amount of money, consistently profitable, full-time, living a great life. I've also worked with institutional traders who are, risking $1 million positions. This is a key thing that I've seen that distinguishes the successful versus the not so successful. It's about having a self-awareness about what's going on in your mind before you take an individual position. It's about being aware of the expectations you have on that individual position. And if you do have unrealistic outcome-based decision thought processes going on before you take a position, it's about having that self-awareness, catching yourself in that moment and then grounding yourself, realizing that, hey, Pat, nobody knows what's actually going to happen on this particular position. Nobody knows. And catching yourself in that moment and not setting that position because you're making a decision out of outcome-based thinking. But hopefully that gives you a bit of an insight into the thought process before you take a particular entry, thought process before you take a particular trade. This highlights a few things. It highlights you need to have a clear system, a clear process-based system, step-by-step system that allows you to execute. And it's also important to manage your psychology, manage your fear and greed dynamics so you can get yourself in a state where you have self-awareness and you make process-based decisions.
Brilliant. Well, look, that's a great little sort of synopsis of what we've went through in a lot of detail in the podcast. So, guys, do make sure you go and check that out. Link under the video here. Now, Pat, before you wrap up, what's the best way for traders to get hold of you?
Perfect. Best place would be check out my YouTube. I've got a lot of trading mindset videos on my YouTube, and also reach out on Instagram, either at Pat Bailouni or Master Your Trading Mindset. DMs are open, so feel free to message through if you have questions.
Brilliant. Well, look, guys, thank you for watching. Do remember, hit subscribe, hit like, click on that notification bell, click all, and we'll see you in the next video. Hey folks, ever wonder what broker I use? Well, I use Hanko Trade. It was a no-brainer because I was looking for a broker with good trading conditions and one that wouldn't restrict my leverage. Now, by joining Hanko Trade, I've also cut down my trading costs significantly with their super low commission of just $1 per 100K. You can learn more at hankotrade.com or just click the link I've put in the description.